What is up, Marshmallow Echo, Green Echo here, and today I'm going to teach you guys some of the best decks to win the Master the Decks Siege and Air Challenge. So again, old rules, I'm gonna press this event info and show you guys what it is all about. So prepare for Clan Wars 2. Every event is the same for these next 16 days. So for Clan Wars 2 and learn a new playstyle. Siege is a defensive archetype that relies on dealing damage from your side of the arena, or you can just take this to the skies and deal damage from the air. 3 losses and you're out, but you still have the chance to reset the losses and continue to play. So basically, Siege, as he explains, is basically an event where you can choose cards that you can deal damage from the other side of the tower, or it's the defensive kind of deck. So today I'm going to introduce you guys to 3 of the best decks that I find to win the Master the Deck Siege and Air Challenge. So without further ado, I'm going to go to these 3 decks and I'm going to explain to you guys each of these interactions and how they work together, so you guys can really master this Siege deck and be prepared before the event even starts. So basically, I'm gonna press the first deck right here. This is kind of like a modified Expo deck, and you can see here they have like a little cycle decks here. You have the log, which for me, I don't really want to put inside in this video, because again, I say in my last video that I want to prevent cards that get nerfed, because like these cards are just dead now, especially for the log. But I have to put it here because it still works well in Siege if you really know how to play after it is nerfed. So basically today, this deck, we have Expo here to cycle and just do a lot of damage. As you can see, all the annoying players does, and especially with high levels, you can just defeat your player with the right way of playing, especially drop down skeletons and the law snowball this to cycle off to your Expo once again to just create all the cheap damage. And this is one of the really classic Siege decks, but this is one of those modified decks actually. And now basically the law is to counter the swarms, but again, I really pity for those law lovers because it nerfed until a way that no one really wants to use it anymore. And yeah, basically this is the deck to cycle. And this 3 decks, especially Knight, Skeleton, Snowball, is for you to cycle through the Expo and just keep defensing, especially when they drop down Valkyrie, Giant Skeleton and stuff like that. Skeleton for defense, Knight for tank, and also Knight to do damage to the tank like Giant Skeleton, Royal Giant and all the stuff like that. Hidden Tesla normally pairs up with the Expo when it comes to defending while dealing damage onto the other side of the tower. So yeah, there's a pretty good combination. Together with the Elixir Collector, basically it's also kind of like a fiber bait, I can say. So you use the Expo, use Tesla, and also cycle through your card, Skeleton, Giant Snowball, your Knight, and also your Musketeer to defend against the swarms and also the troops. By dropping Lord with Musketeer, it will be nice as well. Or if the player drops down a minion horde, you can just place down Snowball together with the the Musketeer to one-shot all the minions. So yeah, basically this is a really good deck. Together pair up with the Elixir Collector to pump everything up. So yeah, this is the deck, and for those of you who like to use Elixir Collector and also cycle decks, you can use this deck. It's quite fast to cycle too. Average Elixir cost 3.5. It's a little bit more expensive than the classic one, which is the second deck that I'm going to introduce to you guys. So the second deck here is basically an Expo control deck. This is the classic OG Expo cycle deck, and again, this Expo deck has the log. So most of the Expo deck usually pair up with the log because firstly it is cheap, and secondly it deals damage to swarms, and thirdly it causes damage to tower as well as a cheap damage source. So basically you can cycle Rocket with the log if it comes to sudden death, which is quite rare for Expo deck because usually you can just cycle through all your cards and get your Expo here. So yeah, this is the deck here. And again, you can use Skeleton, Knight, Mega Minion to cycle through, or just use these 3 cards, which is the Lock, the Knight, and also the Skeletons to cycle through your Expo. And if you are unlucky, you have waited until past the sudden death time and you want to get a quick win here, basically you can drop down Rocket together with the Lock to cause a lot of chip damage. And Ice Wizard here, it's a pretty defensive card. It is used to slow down all the troops, so you can pair up with either Knight to slow down all the tanks, or you can pair up with Mega Minion to together defeat all the swarms. It all depends on you. So here I'm just explaining all the synergies and also combinations. You can go and try and make it as a combination here. So yeah, Expo, and again, all spells have got a nerf. Basically, Rocket got a nerf, the Law also got a nerf. So basically, all the spells got like a 35 or 30% drop down on the damage side. So yeah, it's kind of sad to see this new season getting that way. But let's move on and just look at the good side of Clash Royale. So yeah, this is basically the second deck for the Expo control deck. And next up, we have the Ram Rider Mortar Cycle deck. For those of you Mortar lovers, sorry for waiting, but here it's your mighty Ram Rider Mortar Cycle deck. So if you guys love Rescos, you guys love Mortar, this deck it's pretty good to use, especially for such an expensive deck. Definitely worth the price, because you have Ram Rider to stun all the troops, you have Mortar to keep cycling through. It's also a pretty annoying deck, especially in ladder or meta. So yeah, this is a really annoying deck, and it causes a more expensive average elixir cost. And yeah, basically you have bats here to defend against all the swarms and also all the possibilities coming to your way. And I'm gonna press the info and see what interactions it gave us. So basically it gave us Battle Ram, and yeah, Battle Ram is one of the bridge ban cards. If you find people using Battle Ram in Siege or Air, basically you can use bats to defend against them. And yeah, this is the bats here. It got a little bit slower and Clash Royale have nerfed it, so basically bats can come and defend pretty well. And you have Fireball to cycle through together with the Lock to again have advantage during the sudden death time. And you have Goblin Gang to cycle through, since it's a 3 elixir deck. 3 elixir cost card, and it can really help to defend if you place it at the right place to pull or either to defend against all the troops. So yeah, and you have Rescos, a quite expensive card, but it is really good, especially defending against Mega Knight, Giant, Royal Giant, and also Lava Hound would be a good choice, but you need to beware of the arrows and try to bait it out with the bats or the Goblin Gang. Don't bait it out with the Minion Horde if it is not necessary, because Minion Horde costs 5 elixir and you get a negative elixir trade, which is really bad for your gameplays here. It will give you a disadvantage. So yeah, basically this is the last deck right here. So I'm gonna conclude everything again, and again, all the deck link down in the description below, so make sure you guys go check it out. And yeah, basically this is all 3 decks. I'm gonna conclude again. First deck, we have the modified Expo elixir pump deck that costs 3.5 average elixir cost. And secondly, we have the classic Expo control deck, which costs 3.4 average elixir cost. And lastly, we have the Mortar Cycle deck. For all of you Mortar lovers out there, make sure to master these decks out. So make sure you guys go check out these decks down in the description below. If you ask me why am I so tired and why am I like getting really dizzy right now, it's because this is the 3rd video that I've recorded in a single day, and I need to edit it within these few days before the event even starts, to make sure to share to you guys all the essential content before you guys even step into this arena to battle. So yeah, make sure to click a subscribe button if you enjoy future content, or if you want to comment down below which decks would you want to try first, maybe the Expo elixir pump deck or the Expo control deck, or lastly the really special interactions with the Mortar Ram Rider deck. Comment down below which decks do you want to try first, and also click subscribe if you like future content like this. Click a like if you really learned something from this video, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.